So this morning we did we had to come out here and do a quick startup of the customer's unit. Here he started out, this is going to be his first year on our RTK network. We do have an RTK network of 25 plus towers in the area, so we had to get that set up, and then he wanted to dial in the section control here in the yard for his new planter here. It's getting the RTK set up, showing him how to connect to our towers and everything like that, and then making a couple passes in the yard with the planter, get the measurements dialed in, get the section control timings on and off times dialed in. Seems to be, we got it dialed in pretty good now. While here we had some questions on data and how to erase data, how to back it up properly and everything like that. So we went through all that with the customer, and he's pretty satisfied, so we're good to go on to the next visit. On here we have a Starfire 3000 receiver with a 2630 running section control and auto track in it. And then his Kinsey planner here, he's got an ISO-bus planner that we have coming in through the 2630. So main thing was making sure that everything came over correctly like we wanted to. When we first got here, we noticed that the auto track activation wasn't the correct one, so he had another monitor here that he wanted to put into this tractor anyways. So my coworker Eric just moved the activation, the section control activation, from one monitor to the other, just so we can get everything set up for the RTK system. After that, it was mainly getting the measurements into the display, make sure all of our measurements are correct. And then we did have an issue of the planter, the charging system. We got that fixed, we got that up and going, and everything seems to be going well in the planter as far as overall operation. So. Yeah, so we got to improvise, especially like this morning. They got rain last night here, so I mean we couldn't get into the field, and ideally I'd like to make a lot of passes in the field, make sure that it's good to go, get really comfortable with it. This case we had to actually run it in the yard, and got to improvise. I mean, it's still going to turn on and off the seed just fine. The only problem is we couldn't check seed depth or anything like that, so that's something that the customer's fairly comfortable with, checking seed depth and making sure the planter itself is dialed in. He just mainly wanted us here technology-wise for making sure everything was going to turn off, turn on, and operate as it should. Eric started with us here last year, and he's still new to the role. He's picking up very quickly, doing a very good job on it. Where we are right now is in Omro, just south of our Hortonville store. I cover Stratford, Stevens Point, and Westfield, so it's a little out of my way. The salesman for this customer is out of Westfield, though. Salesman likes me dealing with his customers, but it's just in this case, this customer's 2 hours away from my home, so Eric's right down the road, essentially. So today I wanted to get Eric here, get him introduced to Jackson, get him introduced to the technology that they're running out here, get him out on the farm, playing with them, and get that warm handoff. Like I told Jackson, the day-to-day stuff, Eric's probably going to be the guy involved. If they start making bigger decisions and stuff like that, I'll probably get involved with Eric and we'll work on it as a team. So.